good Saturday, Catterday afternoon, YouTuberenos. Welcome back to another edition of the Thomas and.
Haley Show.
Would you like to introduce what we're going to be? Do you want to tell these lovely people we're going to be talking about?
Hello, beautiful population of the Earth. Welcome
Uh,
to this episode of the Thomas and Haley Show. As usual, we have our regular guest, Chris. Say hey to the world.
Hello.
And today we're going to be basically talking about pros and cons slash preferences of using note takers, computers, or Bluetooth keyboards with your phone versus braille displays, things like that.
yep.
Huh. Yep.
Because everyone has their own preferences.
Yep.
All right. So,
Hmm.
for mine, I use a Windows laptop with NVDA. I do have a braille display, but I don't use the thing because, quite frankly, I'm so used to the keyboard. I
Right.
have a little mini Bluetooth keyboard that sometimes I connect to my phone. Depends on if I feel like not messing with dictation because it can be stupid.
Oh yeah.
It can, especially recently. Um,
Hmm.
I think they broke the tape.
I think they did when they released iOS 26. I believe they did. Um,
Hmm.
So yeah, keyboard with the iPhone sometimes. Use the laptop, and I did used to use a note taker back in school. It was the Braille Note Apex, which I adored. It's too bad I couldn't take it on with me because it was a school device, and there was only one.
Also, it's provided by the school.
Yes, and it was only one device. So
Boring.
yes, which was a bummer because I was actually able to use it. I actually knew how.
Huh.
If I was able to afford one myself, which obviously most definitely not because it's extremely expensive,
Yeah.
and you have to get approval from your services for the blind if it's for work or school purposes. Um,
That makes sense.
it's sort of annoying, really, because
It is.
it's just a pain in the butt. Anyhow, uh, not sure how the Apex are today because it's like 2026 and the models might be different. So, but the one that I used was back like in 2015, 2016, roughly. So, about not 9, 10 years ago,
Mhm.
Oh.
roughly. But
Okay.
yeah, for me, using a laptop, it's easier versus using like an iPad and a keyboard nowadays. I don't even the iPad that I used to use. I don't even have that anymore because I gave it to my family members to use, which it was a mini. It probably doesn't even work anymore. So yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
that's the stuff that
Gotcha.
I use, and I was able to use the laptop through college to download books and complete assignments on Microsoft Word, stuff like that, and even join meetings. So
Gotcha.
very useful.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I've used the Voice Note Apex since March of 2011, and it was definitely a great machine in its time. It really
Oh,
was.
that's what I said.
Okay,
Yeah.
go
Oh
ahead.
really?
It really, really was.
Huh.
Yep.
What
And
What'd you like about it, Thomas?
what I liked that it was, you know, that obviously there was, obviously it's an electronic note taker, so there's no fucking braille paper to deal with. And I
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I liked how, I liked how small it is. You could just fit it in your backpack. Or in my case, a lot of times I would just carry it under my arm from when I would go from class to class, so I wouldn't have to keep taking it in and out of my backpack.
Oh yeah,
Oh
true.
yeah, because I probably have like one of like the shoulder straps on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the shoulder straps.
Oh, you
So
didn't?
no, so I would just
Okay.
carry it with the case closed under my arm when I would
Oh.
go from class to class, and it worked. It worked.
Huh.
You
All
know,
right.
and some
He had a better chance at securing it under his arm versus using the shoulder straps. So I would have to use the shoulder straps. I'm like,
ugh.
look, I'm not dropping this thing.
Yeah,
I
So
don't
I
blame
understand.
you, man.
Well,
and some things you were able to shut up, phone, you're dumb.
Yeah, it's
Some
alright.
things you were able to some things you were able to do were you actually were able to do quite a bit with it. You were able to go on Google Chat, and you could chat with people. That was always fun. You could look up things on Google. Uh,
You,
you could actually go on Facebook with it, which was pretty cool. Um,
huh.
wow.
yeah, and of course, if you have to write things down, there are different folders where you can create files and write things down. So it
Right.
really, really was a great machine in its time. It really was.
Oh
So,
yeah.
okay, how did you save stuff up there?
It automatically saves. The only the
Oh.
the only um the only way a file would get deleted is if you go into the if you go in there and actually physically delete it.
Physically delete it. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
that
gotcha.
makes sense.
Yep. Now,
Oh
here's
yeah.
something important
Hmm.
uh, about the Apex. Let's say if you're doing, let's say if you're writing in a file, um, like I used to write stories a lot, and sometimes when I'd be writing a story, and if the battery was critical, and if the battery died, I would lose some of my work. So you might
Ah.
want to
Ooh.
plug the damn thing in. If
Yeah.
you're writing in a file, you might want to plug it in before the thing dies, because there have been quite a few
Yeah.
times. There have been quite a few times where I've lost some of part
Some
of
of the
the
work you made.
part of the
Yeah.
file, part of the
Yeah.
story, and then I had to rewrite.
Ugh.
Yeah, pain in the ass. So
I
That
know
yeah,
that
that's
does sound like a pain in the ass.
so yeah, for those of you who still have Apexes to this day, and if you are working on a file, writing in a file, and if your battery it says battery is critical, plug the damn thing in so you don't
You
lose
lose all
part
the
of
work that
the
you did,
file that you're
right?
writing in.
Exactly.
that's the see. That's the same thing about using laptops, but
Mm-hmm.
the main difference with that is with laptops, there's a key command you can press to check your batteries, to
Oh,
check
okay.
how low the battery is, and we know to plug it in.
Mhm.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of laptop you have. So at least for mine, my insert key is my caps lock. So I would hold down the shift key, the caps lock, and the letter B. So depends on what screen reader you use. Also, it might say, for example, 85% AC power on, meaning it's plugged up,
Mhm.
Yeah, mine,
or power or AC power off, meaning it's not plugged up, or it'll
Right.
just say like 85% plugged in,
Right.
or it'll just say the percent if it's not plugged in, that kind of thing.
yeah, mine,
Right.
mine is insert shift B for mine because I use
Yeah, insert for me is the caps lock key. So.
Yep.
Oh, and then
Cool.
also another thing I just thought of in my beautiful brain was
Nah.
chocolate.
I
You know
did.
you know how to think of things. I'm so proud
I'm
of
impressed with
you.
myself, man. I'm impressed with
That's
Always the best.
myself from time to time. You could also download like social media apps like on a laptop like Facebook, like Thomas was talking about using Facebook on the Apex.
Yeah.
I have the Facebook app on my laptop actually, so if for whatever reason the internet's being stupid, you can't go to the website for whatever reason, I can just go to the Facebook app and it still
It
works.
still works. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So
Good to know.
yeah. So if you have a topic for us wonderful people to talk about, drop it in the comments below. Or if you have devices that you use, you have your preferences, you want to talk about it with us, also put it in the comments below.
Yep.
Yep.
And remember,
Everyone has a talent. Any type of skill is a talent.
Yep.
so use your talents, people. And
Please
speaking of
do, because everyone has
and
one.
speaking of and speaking of talents, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to Talented HV and Low
Please and thank
Vision
you.
Technology LVT. And of
Yep.
course, Daniel Summerall Productions and Nikki Wonderland. I mean, Nikki Wonderlick. And please subscribe to my channel, Doing Everything Blind.
Blind?
All right. And we'll see y'all next Sunday.
Definitely. Y'all
Yep.
take care.
Y'all take care.
Oh, who's he trying to be the male version of Brie
Oops,
Nelson?
hold on. Stupid phone. Come on. There we go. All right, y'all take care.